Hey YouTube, it's Dr. Lil What. Um, here with a hero deck actually. Um, this isn't the hero deck that I did. Well, I had a hero deck and I did really well at locals, but I changed it up a little bit. And here's the finished product. Um, I run Stratos, Alias, Alias, Alias. I was thinking about cutting out an Alias, but I don't know. It turns into really late at the beginning of the game it's really great, but late game it's really bad. Not really bad, but kind of bad. So I don't know. I'm debating right now. I want to cut out a monster, but I don't know what to cut. Then I run two Bubble Man. Helps with exceeding. And then I run two Summoner Monk. Actually, Summoner Monk is really great in this deck. I think you just normal summon it to defense, ditch a spell, and you run so many different spells in this deck. And a lot of the times, sometimes the spells are dead. Sometimes the spells are dead. There's quite a few situations where you might not have two heroes in your graveyard, or I mean like, and you have a Miracle Fusion in your hand, and the Miracle Fusion is not really working for you right now, and you'd rather have the Miracle Fusion be a Stratos that you special summon from your deck. It's like a hero lives, but without having to half your life points. Plus, you normal summon this, go to defense, ditch a dead G Spark, special summon um, Stratos, get Bubble Man to your hand, special summon, and then you go into Shockmaster, and it's an easy way to go Shockmaster first turn, and you're really only in it for like two cards. Like it's unheard of to go into Shockmaster with a neg 1. Shockmaster is designed to be a neg 2, but you're in it for two cards. This card and the card that you ditched. That's the investment that you made into field presence. Would you invest in a T setup? Of course you would. Um, but you go discard and a spell card, and then you have Shockmaster on the field, and that's just how it works. And that's a neg 1. That's awesome. Um, so yeah, I like Summoner Monk. Plus, Summoner Monk is really cool. He's better than Rhoda in my opinion, because well, again, not quite better than Rhoda, but he's different. He's different from Rhoda, but he's also as good as Rhoda because he can be Veilered, which totally sucks. But if your opponent doesn't see this guy game 1, then he's gonna side out his Veilers and Max C's game 2. Trust me. I mean, if he's still maining Max C. No, people a lot of the times are maining Veiler now, but they'll side out their Veilers for this matchup. People just do that. So Summoner Monk, I think he's really great. You can grab a Bubble Man, Alias. You're gonna want to shoot for the Stratos if the Stratos is still in your deck. But yeah, I like this guy. Onto spells, and that's again the amount of spells that I run is why Summoner Monk is valid because I run just an unholy amount of spells. I'm only running one MST right now. People a lot of the times run no MSTs in this deck. I think MST is a great card in this format, and I would run it. And I want to find room for a second one, but at the same time I can't because I don't know. Deck space is just really it's just so tight. Uh, Rodan 3 Ecol, it really it speeds up the deck. I'm telling you, it speeds up the deck. Triple duality because you don't special summon every turn. So yeah, you can run triple duality. Triple miracle fusion. I like triple miracle fusion. So far it's not really drawing that dead for me. And triple G Spark. And actually, when I was running two Alias, G Spark was not drawing dead for me because this deck does a great job of recycling Alias. Onto traps, I run Scarlet Road because you have to set like everything for Bubble Man to come out. Bubble Man comes out, you set everything, and then you're susceptible to Heavy Storm. You have a crap on a back row, but if your opponent heavies, then you're just screwed. And that's another reason why I run two Dark Bribe, because Dark Bribe is good against lots of different cards, and it stops heavy, which is kind of essential. Uh, yeah. I run a. Oops, sorry about that. Um, I run a Mirror Force. I like Mirror Force right now. Probably not gonna cut it. I like Mirror Force in this deck. I think it's pretty good. Two Torrential. Some people say that they don't like Torrential in this deck because of your low monster count. You don't really want to get rid of your monsters. But at the same time, Torrential can actually be pretty good. For instance, if you have a Shining on the field and like your opponent dualitied into Rabbit last turn, and you know your opponent's going to go for a big push, uh, and you have a Shining on the field, and you know that they're going to try and do something. So that's when you set the Torrential. And when they go normal summon Rabbit, you go Torrential, and you get your stuff back to your hand. Or if you have a Hero Blast face down and your opponent's going off on you, you Torrential, and now your Hero Blast is live if you had an Alias on the field. Torrential is good in a lot of situations with this deck, especially if you just kind of set it and sit behind it. I like Torrential. It's nice. 2D Prison. I probably would never cut this card. 2D Prison is incredible in this deck. I freaking love it. It's so awesome. It kills Tiras. It kills Zenmaines. It wrecks. It wrecks shit. It wrecks shit. Bottomless. Again, what can I say? It's awesome. Now the priority is gone. It's just, it's incredible. It's awesome. 2 Hero Blast because it's heroes, and heroes specialize in chainable monster destruction. That's what that deck specializes in. So yeah. And then the Solemn Brigade. I know it's a really hefty trap lineup. It's really hefty. I run like every single trap, like every single good trap at least. But yeah, that's the deck. Oh, you know what? I totally forgot about the side deck and extra deck, and I have that right here for you. We'll go through that. Sorry, I was totally forgetting about that. I spaced out. I'm sorry. I run one Snowman. Snowman's a really great card against a lot of decks, especially Rabbit. This deck helped me win a match against Rabbit, and it was great. Because I had a face down Snowman, and he went into Dolka to run over this, and I know you're thinking, whoa, how does that help you? Well, because he knew it was a face down Snowman, he read that. He went into Dolka, and when I drew into Miracle Fusion the next turn, I could activate it without him negating it, and it was nice. So, yeah. Not to mention, if they have Logia on the field, Logia can't negate this. So, it's just good. I like it against the Dino Rabbit matchup. I side deck 2 Thunder Kings. I like 2 Thunder Kings because of lots of rogue matchups. There are lots of rogue matchups. Stuff like Gravekeepers, TGs. It helps against a lot of rogue matchups, and that's what this deck struggles against. It struggles against rogue matchups. The big three, it really has no problem against. I could beat Inzectors. I could beat Rabbit. I could beat Heretics. I could beat Windups. Well, actually, that's not true. Windups are really hard for me. I'd have to side deck heavily and then draw pretty well. Yeah, I think Thunder Kings helps a lot against rogue matchups. I run 2 Valor. Valor stops so many different things. Great side deck. I love it. I might put this up to 3, maybe. If I was running a different deck, I would definitely put it up to 3, but this deck has, again, so much chainable monster destruction. It's ridiculous. So I don't really need Valor. Maxx C. I don't see people citing Maxx C anymore, and I think this is stupid. Because Heretics are here. Inzectors can OTK like nobody's business. What else? Good lord. Windups, you go against Windups. Trust me, I went up against this Windup deck at Locals, wrecked my shit. It really did. Then I run 2 Super Poly on the side. What's to say about this card? It's incredible. And when the new dark guy comes out, these will be in the main deck, most definitely. The only reason these are not in the main deck is because of stuff like Dark World and Inzectors. Like that's it. This card is going to be dead against those decks, completely dead. 2 MST. I'm maining one, so I side the other two. I guess that's really all I can say about it. It's MST. Right? If you don't know why that card's good, then I don't know how to help you. Forbidden Lance. Okay. Stuff like Mirror Match, I'll side Forbidden Lance. Rabbit, I'll side Forbidden Lance. There's a lot of different things where Forbidden Lance comes into handy. Forbidden Lance and Slim X Symmetry said this, that this is an MST. Sorry. I'm sorry about that one. This is an MST. When I go Shining and my opponent goes bottomless, boom, I make the bottomless fizzle. When I'm going off with Summoner Monk and they try to stop me and they bottomless my Stratos or something, then I stop it with this. Or I mean, like, there's just, if I'm going up against a deck that runs heavy back row, I will run this card. Because chances are, if you're running heavy back row, you're not going to run a lot of monsters. And if you're not going to run a lot of monsters, you're running beaters. You're running beaters that you can just normal summon or something. If that's the case, then my 1900 beaters they're going to be a problem for you in the first place. Not only that, but the 800 attack boost, or the 800 attack neg that your monsters would get from attacking into my monsters is going to be big. Because, again, if you're running high traps, you're probably running low monsters and monsters that spam. For instance, again, like Rabbit. Rabbit, totally side this against, and it's awesome. I love it. It's awesome. I love it. And then, finally, the Macrocosmos. I know. This deck relies on the graveyard, yada, 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 yada. I pretty much just take out the Hero Blasts for Macrocosmoses. And I only side this against decks that really hurt from Macrocosmos. Stuff like, I don't know, Chaos Dragons. There's just so many different windups. Doratics. There's so many different decks that hurt, just like they hurt for Macrocosmos. Because Macrocosmos, it shuts down the graveyard and it prevents them from doing anything, and that'll kill so many different decks. And yeah, my deck doesn't really like that, but I can live without it. You know what I mean? Plus, if I have something removed and Shining, they're gonna want to get rid of this pronto. So if they get rid of it, then if I have a like a Stratos or an Alias removed, I could just Miracle Fusion into an Alias and grab them back, or Miracle Fusion into a Shining and grab them back. There's a lot of different ways that I can recycle Alias. Not a lot, but there's a way that I can recycle my heroes from the remove from play. So it's not totally dead against me, but it'll hurt my opponent more than it'll hurt me. And that's, I mean, again, that's why this deck ran Skill Drain, is because it hurts my opponent more than it hurts me. So yeah. And that's that. Thanks, YouTube, for sticking with me through this really long video. Alright, I love you guys. Bye.